Alright, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth, and today is May 23rd, 2015, and today we have world champion Noemi Boques. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to go over a few little facts so the fans kind of know who you are.
Alright.
Okay, you are fighting at bantamweight, right?
Yeah, this next fight will actually be super bantamweight, 123 pounds, which is the biggest that I've ever fought. But with the opportunity against someone like Heather Hardy, how can I refuse?
Exactly, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Your pro record is actually 8-2-2, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, and you did do your pro debut was in 2012, so you've actually only been fighting pro for about 3 years.
Yes.
And like I said, you are a world champion. You do hold the WBU bantamweight title, and you have an NAB. Is it you? NABU super featherweight?
NBA. Mm-hmm.
Oh, NB. Okay. So let's. I will jump to the fight right now, so everybody knows you are actually about to fight Heather Hardy. A lot of people know who she is. She's been all over TV. It's the fight's actually going to be on an undercard of a Spike TV. Hopefully you guys will make the TV portion. If not, I don't know what to say about that personally. I don't agree with it because I think you guys are better than half of the card. But that's just my opinion. It's the title. The main event is going to be Amir Khan versus Chris Algieri. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, Spike TV, May 29th. And she is undefeated. So I guess what I want to say to you is, what are you going to do to beat her that nobody else has done?
I can't give you too much of the game plan, but just know that we're preparing for someone with her style, and we're coming in the greatest shape ever. So, I mean, I don't know how the other girls were slipping up. I mean, hats off definitely to Heather Hardy, but we're just going to stick to our plan. I trust what Coach and I have been working on, and we're just going to make sure we're in great shape to execute.
Okay, and do you feel that you can win a decision against her, or do you think that you're going to have to go out there and do something really impressive to get this win?
I believe that beating her by decision in her hometown on her promoter's card, especially with things like TV and all that in her, in her resume, is going to be very hard. It's going to be hard to win by decision. So we're preparing to go all or go nothing, So basically, do what you do, and if the knockout comes, it comes, and you're kind of hoping it will come, because like you said, a decision in her hometown is going to be hard to pull off when she's undefeated, and everybody kind of knows who she is. Yeah, it's almost necessary to win by knockout in order to win.
Now, do you obviously consider this the biggest fight of your career?
Absolutely. So,
by you beating Heather Hardy, who is undefeated, like I said, 12-0, what type of doors does this open for you?
Well, being that she has the kind of exposure that she's already had with mainstream TV, which, like I said earlier, hats off to her. That's wonderful for women's boxing that she's doing that. When I beat her, it's kind of putting me more on the map, especially with her fans and followers. So this is a very big deal. Not only for us, not only for me, but just for women's boxing, period. I think it's going to be a very exciting fight. Very exciting fight.
Okay, now, do you guys know each other personally? Do you have any type of relationship, or is this just business and that's the way it is?
We've kind of chatted a little bit here and there on Facebook or Twitter. We've never had like a personal friend relationship or anything like that, but, she's definitely someone I've always kind of admired and respected for everything that she's doing, and likewise. So we've always kind of given each other props, but we don't know each other on a personal level. Okay,
but it's nothing personal though. This is just business.
This is business, yeah. We just happen to be in the hurt business. We got to go in there and fight like we hate each other, and then afterwards maybe we'll go and whatever. Like give each other a hug, maybe a kiss on the cheek, who knows?
Okay, well, I want to back up a little bit so some of the boxing fans that aren't familiar with you, I want to understand how you got into the sport of boxing to begin with.
Well, I I was the type of girl who was always outside playing with the boys. I never wanted to play with dolls and things inside the house. So boxing, football, basketball were always the type of games that I played. So when I had the opportunity later on in life to do it, not only to, as a workout, but competitively as an amateur boxer, I went and I jumped on it, and I was doing pretty well. I was winning state, I was winning regionals, I was placing top 5 in the U.S., and this was with very little experience. This was with less than 20 amateur fights. So I just continued, and once I felt I had enough experience as an amateur, I just decided to turn pro.
Okay, and so being a pro boxer, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's not perfection. This is what I do. This is what I give most of my time to, and not only in the ring, but everything that I do outside of boxing as a professional, as far as personal training, as far as the public speaking, as far as anything media, it all kind of revolves around my boxing. So it's really a whole lifestyle. It's not even just like a job. It's everything revolves around my boxing. It's my life.
Okay. Now I know that you do a little bit of modeling, and you do some photo shoots and stuff too outside of boxing, right?
Yeah, here and there, just for fun mainly.
Okay. Well, I want your opinion on this. I've asked some other female boxers the same question, and I kind of like to see the different answers I get. How do you feel about female boxers posing in Playboy, and would you ever pose in Playboy?
Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think the decision is up to the lady fighters. I think it brings on a whole new set of followers and fans, and it's unfortunate, but it's also convenient. Well, it's also a different way to make a lot more money. And like I said, it's up to the fighter and whatever she feels comfortable with. But a lot of times, the woman is going to get more money as a fighter, more money even outside of fighting, for doing things as far as Playboy or more of the shady type things like that. It just brings more money. So and would I? Maybe not at the present moment, just because I have a daughter that's still young. But honestly, if I didn't have a daughter, or let's say she was already 20 years old, and I got an offer for several thousands of dollars to play, to take a nice, sexy picture, as long as it's not too crazy. I don't want to take a picture all straddled up, but then perhaps I would.
Okay. Speaking of your daughter, would you allow your daughter to box if she wanted to box?
I'll back her up in whatever it is that she wants to do. So if she was really serious about it and she wanted to box, then I would 100% be in her corner and teach her from my own life lessons.
Okay, I also want to bring up the fact that now that Al Heyman and Greg Cohen and guys like this, they're bringing boxing back to the national networks. Like, actually, Premier Boxing Champions is on right now while we're talking, and they're actually opening the doors for some of the female boxers. Like we said, one of the Serrano sisters is going to be on soon. I think there's another female fight that's going to be on soon. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly who it was, but this is opening the doors for you guys. Do you feel that this is your time right now where you guys actually might be able to get out there more, possibly get a main event on TV and be seen?
I think we're definitely heading in that direction. It really just depends on how the girls take advantage of these opportunities, because they can't expect it to grow quickly if their only job is to go and fight. I mean, I know ideally as a professional fighter that is all that we should worry about, but depending on how we use this momentum, as far as being in the media eye, as far as doing things outside of the boxing ring, depending on how busy we are at promoting ourselves, will be how fast we can get a main event, or we can get, it's definitely going to be a while. I would guess maybe a couple years even, but if all the girls can just be smart and use this momentum in their favor, and just be smart with how they do the marketing, and be smart with how they do the fights, and then the faster we're going to get that opportunity. Is it possible? Absolutely. Especially with people like Heather Hardy that's doing her thing up there in New York. I'm working down here in Tampa. I'm really working the marketing down here. The Serrano sisters are doing their thing with the magazines and with their clothing line. You know, if we can get enough girls that are busy like that and making a bang, then absolutely, it'll be, a lot faster.
Okay, let's talk about the promoting of the women's boxing a little bit. I mean, you like I said, you've only been a pro for a few years, but you've been around enough to see a lot of different things that's going on and a lot of doors that are opening. But like I said to you earlier, women's boxing has actually been around for quite a while, and people are just kind of starting to take notice to it over the last few years. What does the boxing community still need to do to promote women's boxing to get it out there more?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I think it's being busy outside of the ring as well, because there aren't very many viewers or very many followers who are aware of who we are and what we're doing. We need to make a bang in other areas to captivate their attention. You understand? Like I've been doing it here in Tampa. As far as there's a little while we were working with a magazine, the No magazine. We're out there, doing work with the kids, just different ways that benefit the community using our name. We can benefit, and it really doesn't even take too much. Like, a lot of times just using your name, you can benefit so many causes, and that in return lifts your name up, and now people want to know who you are, and they want to follow you, what you do. And, for example, I box, so, they're going to now follow my boxing, and the more we can do this in several parts of the country, then the more attention naturally we're going to captivate to people wanting to see what we do. It's just we just have to collaborate and just stay busy. Not only in the ring, a lot of these fighters are just content with just fighting, and like I said earlier, it should be all we're focusing on. But if we want to grow as a whole, then we need to put ourselves out there. We need to work in our community. We need to let these people know who we are and not be scared to promote ourselves.
Okay, and like we just talked about, you and Heather Hardy fighting on May 29th, and for the average fan that has never seen two females box, why should the average fan come out and watch a female fight?
Oh, let me tell you something. Heather Hardy and I are going to be a great fight because we are both very similar in our hunger. We are both single moms. We are both women who came from nothing, or we're out proving something about ourselves. So it's not just us going out there and displaying our boxing skills. It's us going out there and displaying boxing skills with everything that we have, with all of our past that we have, with all of our struggles being a single parent, with coming from a place like Brooklyn, New York, or St. Petersburg, Florida. Like, we're fighting with everything we have. So, we're still might not live up. Our heart is going to take over. So it's definitely going to be. And not only that, but we're both very nice-looking girls. We're not one of these rugged little. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with, the rugged ones, but I think, in my opinion, it's entertaining when you have two nice-looking ladies who don't look like boxers go in there and fight with everything that they have. I think that's very attractive to the general, to the normal general eye. It's an attractive fight. So, I definitely want to maximize on that and invite everybody to watch. Oh, and by the way, I don't think we're going to be on TV, but we will be on FightTV.com. So, just wanted to put that out there. I meant to say it earlier.
No, that's great, because I'll definitely want to watch it as well. So just let me throw that out there as well. For the people that did miss that, if she may not make the TV portion, but you can go on SpikeTV.com and definitely watch this fight with her and Heather Hardy, and it might actually be better than some of the males fights on this card, honestly, because this is two women that come to fight. These girls are not going to be cat fighting. They will be fighting like men. I've watched both of them fight, and they do fight just like guys in the ring. So it's going to be an entertaining fight, and I plan on trying to watch it myself.
Right.
So I guess another thing I wanted to ask you about is as far as the income level that you guys get compared to the men, does that not get frustrating that they get the millions of dollars and you guys are getting like thousands of dollars?
Yeah, absolutely. especially when you see, the money that like Mayweather's making or Pacquiao. But, I can't even hate on them because it's not their fault. I mean, they worked for it. A lot of people don't see the behind the scenes of how Mayweather has gotten to this level, but he did very, very good as an amateur, Olympics and all. And then, he's been smart. He hasn't only focused on his boxing, but he also set up his promotion. He's been working, and it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going on that, we don't know about. But to get that kind of money, he's been working, and I do believe it's possible for women. We just have to be just as smart and use whatever tools we have, whether it's look, whether it's whatever it is. You have to find something and not just depend on your fight, because that's where a lot of these fighters, they mess up. They mess up where I'm just going to be the best fighter, and that's the extent of their dream. And that it's a very short time, and the money ends.
No, I agree.
Like Mayweather focuses on his promotion, we got to find other things to get that kind of money.
Okay, and the one thing I thought, and I forgot in the very beginning of your introduction, your nickname is actually Rebel. Where did that come from?
The Rebel. Yeah, it's funny. Growing up, I was always a real hard-headed, stubborn child, and my mother would always call me that because I was never content with things that were placed on me. I've never been the kind of person that just kind of conforms to the regular society's rules. I've never been the kind of person where if you tell me something's like this, I just believe it. I like to challenge everything. So I always tell everybody I live life rebelliously. Not that I'm just out here doing crazy things, but okay, you tell me like it is, I want to find out myself. I'm not scared to go against the grain and figure out how life is from my standard. You understand what I mean?
Yep.
I find life my own way. I don't just follow the rules and listen to what society wants from me. So I'm a rebel.
Okay, so tell me something that your boxing fans don't know about you.
Something boxing fans don't know about me. Sorry, let me see. Okay. I like to be involved in the pro wrestling. There's a lot of pro wrestling that's going on around here. And I love to go in there and mess around with these girls and push and shove them and, get involved with these professional wrestling shows. So that's something that's not out there a lot, but I enjoy a lot. Is I'm very involved with pro wrestling, and I just think it's really cool. I think it's so awesome. And I don't know, I think that's kind of a cool side. I'm involved with pro wrestling.
So is that something that you could turn to after your boxing career?
Yeah, for fun. Maybe not like as a full-time gig or anything, but I wouldn't mind doing some appearances here and there, doing maybe like a tour or, I just think it would be fun, and if the money is right, why not?
Okay, so tell me somebody that inspires you inside the ring and outside the ring in your life.
Okay, last week I had a camp for a whole week in California with the beautiful brawlers in the San Francisco Bay Area, and Blanca Quintez is she's the organizer, the leader. I don't know how to just she created this beautiful brawlers. It's what we call it movement, but it's a big, beautiful organization over there on the west side in Cali, with a whole bunch of young amateur boxers and pro boxers, like Melissa McMorrow is a world champion who has a lot to do with it. Martha Salazar is a WBC champ that has a lot to do with them. But there's this beautiful movement over there that Blanca Quintez is in charge, one of the main people in charge of over there. And I admire her so much because what she does over there on the west side with the beautiful brawlers, these young girls, the majority being Mexican girls. I mean, it's just so inspiring to see how she works and uplifts and motivates these young girls, and they're wonderful. One of them just won the gold medal in the jail world or something nothing like that. I'm sorry for getting it wrong, but she just won like a gold medal in one of the world tournaments for the JO. So they're really doing things over there, and I have a lot of respect, a lot of admiration for Boques. She's definitely an inspiration to me outside of the ring. Somebody who's a fighter who's very inspiring from the end of the ring is Noemi Boques. She had, I think, a total of less than 20 fights still, maybe 20 pro fights. And she's gone to Germany and beat Susie Constitucion. She went to Mexico and beat Kenya Higgins for the WBO. Like, this girl is she is the bomb. She's shorter than I am, strong than I am, not much more experience than I have, but she's going to other countries and teaching these girls. And I had the honor and the privilege to spar with her when I was over there during training camp, and she's just such an amazing girl and athlete. So I would definitely pick those two as being inspirations for me right now.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know your fight is next week, right, on the 29th. I'm going to promote that. Let's promote that one more time. Noemi Boques versus Heather Hardy. You are 8-2-2, like I said. She is 12-0. You guys are fighting on the undercard of Amir Khan and Chris Algieri. Main event and 9 p.m. Eastern. And unfortunately, you guys might not make the TV portion. We're praying that you guys do something. Maybe the other fights will be shorter. But if not, you guys can go on the computer, spiketv.com. Definitely try to catch this female fight. It will definitely make you a fan of female fighting, because something tells me this fight's going to be a war.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And for anybody who's interested, please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all at Noemi Boques. I love hearing from the fans. A lot of times I'll respond. So definitely, shoot me a hello here and there. I'd love to hear from you.
All right. Anything to say to your fans before we end?
Yeah, just make sure that you're supporting us. You're watching this fight on the 29th versus Heather Hardy and all. You're going to see all cards. Everything's going to be on this side. We have everything approved, so please make sure you support us. Anytime there's a woman around, we're trying to grow. I also want to thank my sponsors, Stock Mobile, Practice Cut Fitness, law office of Anthony Gonzalez. These are all wonderful people that are behind me. And we couldn't do it without everybody's help and sponsorship. So, salute to everybody that's backing us up. Please continue.
All right. Do you know exactly what time this entire card actually starts?
I'm really not too sure. I'm going to guess about 8 o'clock, because that's usually the time that those will start, Eastern time, but so hold me to it. Follow me on my social media, and as soon as I have it, I'll be posting it out there for sure.
All right. Well, like we said, it will be on spiketv.com, so if anybody wants to double check the times to make sure they don't miss the undercard fights, please do. Like I said, this fight could be better than the main event. And I'm not kidding. Just because it's a female fight, don't shun away from it, because some of these ladies will surprise you.
That's right.
All right. And the truth has spoken.